Yo, it's your boy Bryan-Michael Cox, and you are tuned in to BallerAlert.
What's going on? I'm Cliff Hill. You are tuned into BallerAlert. I am here with the one and only Mr. Bryan-Michael Cox. How are you, man?
What's up? What's up, man? I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Listen, it's so good to have you on. We are honored. We are huge, huge fans of you, man. Your work. I mean, a legend, iconic songwriter and producer. I mean, you guys don't know B. Cox. Where have you been in music? Talk about so many people who you've worked with: Jagged Edge, Destiny's Child, Tony Braxton, Mariah Carey, Usher, Mary J. Blige, Monica, and the list literally goes on, right?
Yeah.
I saw that you commented on our post we did earlier.
First of all, I appreciate the love, man. BallerAlert is fam. I've been, we've been, I'm been a follower of the brand and a fan of the brand for a long time, and it's, I got my people over there. It's all love with BallerAlert, man. I definitely appreciate that for real.
Listen, we had to kind of set it up for the interview. I kind of took some comments, and I'll be asking you some questions based on the comments. I mean, the amount of love they showed you, I mean, it's proof. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. For real, I was like, wow, surprised me, and it was really, really a great surprise, man. I appreciate y'all.
I think one thing everybody talked about was what is their favorite Bryan-Michael Cox hit, right? How do you pick one? But I have to ask you, what's
Yeah,
your all-time favorite hit that you've either written or produced?
it changes, right? Throughout the years, it changes. Right now, I would say that my favorite one right now would be probably Little Mo's Forever right now. Just because it's such a unique sounding record. Nothing really sounded like that at the time, with the long intros and then it goes to the beat drop and all that. I just like the uniqueness and where my mindset was at the time when I made that track, and then when Lil Mo heard it, and it just was a special, magical time. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, right now, it changes. Like I love You Got It Bad. I think You Got It Bad is phenomenal. What a Party At. I love Let's Get Married. There's just so many songs out, you know what I mean?
It's
Sometimes
just so hard to pick one.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll be listening to a random playlist and then Trey Songz Last Time I Come On. I'm like, yo, this, will you be impress yourself? Like, yo, I'm rocking this shit. You know what I mean? So it changes, you know what I mean? But I think right now the Little Mo record, Little Mo Fabulous Forever is like.
And listen, Lil Mo is such a gift to R&B. I think the younger generation, they have no idea, man, what time it was when that Lil Mo was like really, really out and popping. Oh my gosh.
It's
So
so
one
great.
thing that I love to do, no matter who I'm interviewing, whether it's an artist, a producer, an athlete, an actor, I love to kind of go back kind of to where it all started, because you never know who's watching and who you may be able to help. So kind of let us know, like, when did you realize or find that love for music?
It's been with me since I was a child. So the love for music, I've been a musician in my head since I was 5 years old. So the music is my only destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there's a story I could tell. I could just say music's been my only destiny. And I'm fulfilling that destiny, a couple times over, you know what I mean? So early on, I knew I wanted to be in the music. I knew I wanted to be a musician. I knew I wanted to play an instrument. I knew I wanted to sing. I knew I wanted to do something in music. That was the only thing that ever held my complete attention, right? Records, listening to albums. I could listen to albums all day. As a little kid, I didn't want to go outside and play. I wanted to just listen to albums, you know what I mean? So yeah, music's my first love, my only destiny, you know what I'm saying?
So when did you kind of start writing music or writing your own music?
Okay, so it started that. That happens when you start having feelings for girls, say like 10, like 10, 11, I started writing songs, writing poetry, writing, putting words together. But I think for me, when the piano became the center of everything for me, that's why I just fell in love with, composing. It was like, hey, I'm just, playing piano and then singing. When you're young, you start singing. I didn't realize the power of singing, right, at the time. I used to be shy about my singing when I was a kid. Yeah, I sing in church, and then, you know, my aunties make me sing for people, and you know,
in the
shy.
shower.
I remember I did a talent show. I had a friend ask me to be in a group and sing in a talent show with him.
Okay.
Then I ended up doing a solo bit in the talent show. And I remember, I'll never forget it. I did a song called Smile by Guy, right? That was in the Future album. I was in 7th grade. And I sang the song. Nobody even knew the song. It was a B-side. Smile was like a B-side record. Like it wasn't no single, you know what I'm saying? And I sang the song, and the response to the girls, I never seen nothing like that. Like I didn't know it was even possible. Like literally, like over, like in a matter of minutes, it went from, you know, I was kind of like an unknown to known, because I could sing and I could play piano, and it just turned out. So that just, you dive head first into it at that point, once you realize that you have some type of gift that makes people react a certain way.
I love that. Now you mentioned, I want to skip over a little bit. You mentioned, you know, girls is kind of what started to make you want to start writing. Someone said in the comments, where is it? They said, whatever girl broke his heart when he was 12, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have such a masterpieces. So I love you kind of told us. You kind of told us, because the way you write music, I even said this to Sean Garrett as well in his interview, the way you guys are able to write these songs, I mean, for women and men, and we could just feel it, is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it, and what I learned, especially when I started writing with Jermaine, I think what I learned is that a lot of it is through conversation, man. Songs that come through these conversations. I think our songwriting sessions are a lot like therapy sessions. You know what I mean? Whether we're talking to each other, whether we're talking to the artist about what they, you know, going through, or whether we're working with another co-writer and we're talking amongst ourselves, like these sessions are really like our therapy sessions. You know what I mean? And then they materialize into these records, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that you're right. Like who broke Brian's heart at 6 or 7, you know what I mean? And then
have you ever written a song for someone else where it kind of was your story, but you kind of wrote that song for that artist or that celebrity?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Have you ever written a song that was kind of your story, that you was pouring your heart out, but you wrote it for that person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, well, let us know which one.
Man, you know, I'll leave it to mystery, man. We go, you know, no, I think I'm gonna keep it real. There's a little bit of me in a lot of the songs. So like if you say a record like Say Goodbye, right? There's a little bit of, you know, like I wrote the first half of the first verse, and I wrote the majority of the hook. So whatever was happening in that space, in that time, that was what was happening. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get to a song like Last Time, though, you know, that record was about a friend of mine. You know,
Okay.
I was watching this guy like live crazily, you know what I mean? Like, you know, got one girl, you know, living in one apartment, another girl in an apartment. He's driving this girl's car, taking one to work. Like, I'm just like, man, how are you doing all this? You know what I mean? And so we draw inspiration from what's around us too. You know what I'm saying? I think that this Usher album that's coming in February is going to be a real testament and a real, like, you know, example of all of the therapy sessions we've had over the past 7 or 8 years. You know what I mean? And kind of just spilled out on these records. You know what I mean?
I love that. Talk about Usher. I know you mentioned JD. Someone also put in the comments, they said B. Cox, Jermaine, and Mariah is the dream team. That Emancipation of Mimi was everything. So you and JD, let's talk about that. You guys have made, I'm not gonna just say songs, you guys have made magic together. Tell us a little bit about you guys' relationship. How did you even meet JD? How did it all come about?
Well, I met Jermaine through Brian and Brandon Casey from Jagged Edge. So what happened was when I was at Noontime, I was signed to a company called Noontime. My manager, who's still my manager to this day, a guy named Chris Hicks, was like, yo, you know, I want to put you with Bryan and Brandon. They want to work with you. They want to write with you. So Bryan and Brandon was coming out of Noontime writing to tracks and writing with other producers. And they sought me out, like, yo, who's this kid over there? You know, maybe we could work with him. And then they set a meeting up and we met, and then we made a song that day. We made a song called Call Me right in that moment. And it felt like, oh my God, this is something crazy. Like, you know what I mean? My manager was looking around like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave these guys in the room and close the door, lock the door. You guys get to work, you know? And so we had an instant kind of magic, instant kind of chemistry that's still so prevalent today. You put me and Bryan and Brandon in the room together, it's still gonna be that same kind of chemistry. We made a bunch of songs. They went and played the songs for Jermaine because we were trying to play songs. We were trying to play songs on like Escape and Usher and, you know, all the things he was working on. They were signed to his publishing company. So we were just basically trying to play songs. We didn't really know, you know, we were trying to just get on, you know what I mean? They had a record out already. Gotta Be was already out, blowing up, but we weren't even thinking an album over them because Gotta Be had just started blowing up. They go play the records for Jermaine. He says, yo, I want to meet this kid. They said, this is not like, this y'all album. Where's this kid at? So then, long story short, I go meet him. He said, come to the house. You know, about a month later, I go to the house. And we finished. The first song we do is Keys to the Range. The second song we do is Let's Get Married. And then we finished the album. You know what I'm saying? So that's how me and Jermaine met. It was really through the twins. And then from there, it kind of has been nonstop, really. Like we had, you know, there's always a couple hiccups throughout the way, but you know, that was in 1997 when that happened. So when 98, like late 97, early 98. So you know, and when we rocking now, I mean, he's probably one of, you know, not probably, he's one of my best friends in real life. Like we talk every day, all day. We work every day. You know, it's like family at this point. We've been together for 25 plus years. Like, you know, we're family now. It's like brothers, you know.
Beautiful. I love it. You seem to have such a healthy, positive story in the music business. I know sometimes people talk about the music business, how kind of crazy it can be. What was it like kind of trying to get into the business? Do you have any like trials and tribulations? Did you know, how did you dodge the craziness that some artists or producers, whoever may go through?
I'm gonna keep it real. I had a beautiful team. I was blessed to get down with a couple of guys who really came from a different code of ethics. You know, they weren't music business guys. You know, they came from another world that was transitioning into the music business. So, you know, when you're dealing with guys with that kind of, you know, level of loyalty, that kind of level of high ethics, you know, dealing with people, you know, straight up being honest. I just was blessed to be with a group of guys who were honest. You know what I'm saying? I could have been, because I mean, I heard the horror stories about those other deals around the city, actually. You know, people, I had peers who were in deals that were crazy. You know what I'm saying? And my deal, I never was in I've never, the first bad deal I did was when I did a deal outside of the bubble of people I rock with.
Got you.
Okay. You know, and that, I knew better. This is late in my life, and I did a terrible deal. I knew better. This is when Bryan Cox knew I did a bad. Even in that bad deal, my good deals still made up for the bad deal, and I was able to undo the bad deal because of my good deals.
Nice.
So
what advice would you give an upcoming writer or producer, you know, to kind of help them kind of take the path that you have?
The best advice I would give is, number one, don't be so eager. No matter how it feels like, oh, the key to my success is right there. I'm about to get on. This major company wants to sign me. Never be thirsty about it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to be. You know what I'm saying? When you are when your dream is about to become, when your dream is about to become a reality, it's hard not to be excited about it. You know what I'm saying? It is very hard not to be excited about doing a deal. You know what I mean? But you have to take in that these are business people, man. They're looking at you as a commodity, right? So you have to go into this thing very, very with your eyes wide open from a business perspective. You know what I mean? Read your contract before you sign, even if you don't understand it. Read it, get a thesaurus in the dictionary, and the words you don't understand, look up, find a meaning for. Read your contract. You know what I mean? Know exactly what you're getting yourself into, what you're signing. Don't be so enamored with the brand, with the check, with the, you know what I'm saying? Read your contract. You know what I mean? And just know, like, you know, once you get the opportunity, do everything in your power to take advantage of the opportunity. You know what I mean? Work your ass off. You know what I mean? Outwork everybody. Somebody asked me earlier, like, Brian, how do you find the time to do all the things you're doing? Because I was actually trained the way I trained my mind when I was younger in this business. I had to outwork everybody. I want to outwork everybody. I still have that same energy, that same fire, you know what I mean, to outwork people. So I think that is the thing. You got to be on top of it. You know what I mean? This is a hustle. You know what I mean? You know, it's about talent, but it's also about relationships. It's about hustle. It's about all those things.
That's why I think it's so important to still have you guys around, usually the older guys, I mean, who's been doing it for so long and still killing it. So before we get into illustrate new ideas, I want to do something really fun real quick. Usher did his RnB Mount Rushmore earlier this week. I want you to go ahead and tell us yours, who you got, and I'll make it easy. You can do one for the ladies and one for the guys. So this is R&B of all time. Who you got?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, and it changes. So this is not, if I'm be perfectly honest, this is not going to be set in stone. The shit changes so much every year. Ladies, you know, you got to put Aretha Franklin in there. You got to put Whitney Houston in there. You got to put what's going? You got to put Shaka Khan in there.
Okay.
And you got to put, for a contemporary perspective, you got to put, I would say, like, I'm going to go out on a whim and say, like, a Jasmine Sullivan. You know what I'm saying? From her perspective, you know what I mean?
1,000%. And someone who's a little younger, too, for sure, holding it down vocally.
Yeah. From a men's perspective, you got to say Usher. You got to say, you got to say Babyface. You got to say, like I said, this shit changes so much for me. So that's why, like, I'm just kind of putting names out there right now. You got to say, you know, Marvin Gaye. You know, and
Usher also put him in there.
This is going to be controversial, but we all know you got to say R. Kelly.
Love it. Okay. You know? I mean, talent-wise, you can't. You know, you can't. Yeah. Talent-wise, I mean, it's there. Now,
I mean, like I said, the shit changes for me so much. I'll get in the car, I'm like, damn, I forgot about this one. You know what I mean? Like, so many great artists. You know.
Has any of these the newer, younger artists been reaching out to you for that amazing pen game?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, have any of the newer, younger artists that's out now, like the Scissors, the Summer Walkers, have they been hitting you up for that amazing pen game?
I'm obviously working with Love Renaissance, so I'm going to work. I'm going to go in with Summer. That's going to happen.
Okay. That's exciting.
I would love to work with SZA. I would love to work with Victoria Monet. Love to work. I mean, I've worked with Coco Jones. We've done a couple of songs together. I think that
another heavy hitter, new girl, heavy hitter.
I would love to go in with, I'm talking about RnB now. I think RnB is amazing. I'm executive producing Alex Bond's next album. I'm going to with RnB. I like Maida a lot. I've worked with her already. All these artists, man, they're a lot of artists,
Chris
man.
Brown new project. Would you say that you're happy with where R&B is going right now?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's an exciting time for R&B.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially coming off of these, like I said, Victoria's album, SZA's album, this new Lucky Day single is crazy.
Yes.
I think, I think it's a really, really incredible time for R&B, especially going into 2024. And shit, Beyonce coming off the run she's coming off of with Renaissance, crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's an exciting time. You know what I'm saying?
So you have a new project. You have Let's Talk, illustrate new ideas. You guys described it as a creative content that is the embodiment of records and publishing. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. Well, so basically what I wanted to do is create a platform for artists that can move around freely. All these companies, we're defining what the music business and the rules are now. We're defining them. The rules are changing, and we're in a space where we're able to actually be a part of that change and actually write new rules that benefit everybody, that the artists get to benefit properly, that the people who write these songs get to benefit properly. So that's for me. Like I want to create a platform that does that for artists and creatives. And what the intriguing thing about the artist that I'm working with, his name is Jack Freeman. We did a partnership. That's the thing, I'm doing partnerships with us. I'm not doing like a thing like you sign to me and I'm none of that. Like we'll do partnerships.
That's what I was trying to figure out as well. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to share in the profits evenly. Like we're going to, I'm not the whole ownership, the whole concept of owning, somebody, we'll do it together. We'll own it together. And we won't be locked into long-term deals. We'll do one-offs. We'll do two-offs. It ain't got to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to create a platform where it's like people don't feel like they're stuck stuck in quicksand. You know what I mean? Because they made a deal and they're going to be in this deal for the 5, 6, 8 years. You know what I mean? Because I've done companies in the past and joint ventures, with companies, major companies, and from a publisher perspective, and a lot of the writers are stuck in those deals and I can't get them out. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big lesson for me. Like, you're going to keep these people for 10, 12 years and not do nothing with them? They can't get out. You know what I mean? There has to be a limitation. Like, okay, the cap on this deal is 4 years or 5 years. It's the cap. And then we have to have a conversation. Whether they're recouped or unrecouped or whatever. If they're not recouped, then let them go. You know what I'm saying? Let people go about their life, and you can write that thing off. These major labels, major publishers, they write those things off. Why would you hold people hostage? Why would you hold people captive? And I think that in that experience, that's why I was like, when I move into this next thing, when I create whatever I'm trying to create now, I want to create a platform where that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can make music freely. We could do proper partnerships in and out. You know what I mean? Make the business easy.
So let me understand a little bit more. Let's say I'm a new artist. You're interested in me or I'm interested in you, and I come to your company. What exactly will you guys do for me? Or what exactly I get out of the company? Like, what exactly would that look like?
Well, obviously we will operate as a proper production company or a proper label, which means that, for me, that's why I'm doing partnerships. So if you're a new artist, right, I'm rocking with you because you got some motion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with you because you actually have something moving and I can help boost it with that's moving up, right? If there's a new artist that I got to build from scratch, then that's a different kind of deal. It still would be an ownership deal, but it'd be a different kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't really, unless this person is just, the talent is so crazy, you know what I mean? What I don't want, I want to create a certain level of accountability, not just for the label, but for the artist too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a new artist, I want you to look at what I'm doing and be accountable for what you're doing also. So you're gonna have to do some work too. You're gonna just wait for me to just make the music and do all the work. You're gonna have to get out there. I want to see that you got some motion. If I see that you're working, I want to add to your work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Person's gonna come and say, all right, don't stop working. I'm just gonna make what you're doing and make it even bigger. And I'm gonna add all of my expertise. I'm gonna add my records. I'm gonna add the people that you can't get to that can make records for you. I'm going to add, we're going to do marketing. I'm going to get the creative team on. We're going to do all of these things. But what made you get to me, what made me look at you, don't stop doing those things. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm doing this deal, because you created motion. That motion has worth, and I'm going to pay for that motion. You know what I'm saying? But don't stop doing it. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, oh yeah, when I'm signed to, no, you're not signed to me. We are partners. So I need you to keep your.
Is Jack Freeman one of your partners with
my partner?
Okay. Okay. I got a chance to listen to his joint Shine. Oh my gosh. It's like, first of all, the beat itself gets you. Then when he come in, it's like, it's perfect. Like it's also a new sound that I haven't been hearing a lot of. So I loved it.
I appreciate it. I think that we, you know, and like I said, for example, Jack Freeman had that record. You know what I mean? Like when I did the deal with him, he had like 30 records finished. Okay. You know what I mean? Like finished, mixed in the can, ready to go. He just didn't have the wherewithal to get the push going. So I'm like, bro, like I could, like these records are hard. I could, you know what I mean? Like I could do something with this. Let's partner up. You know, you already paid for these records. You already did, you know what I mean? So give me an outline of what you spent, you know what I'm saying? And let's partner up and I'll pick up the slack on everything else. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for everything else. We'll find you some money, reimburse your money. We'll figure all these things. We'll do the business. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in doing business. You know what I'm saying? You know, and Jack is great business on top of him being a great talent. And I think the record is just a slow burn. We getting some love on radio locally.
It's fire.
And you know, the videos coming December 1st, the album's coming in January. So we got 2 singles coming within the next, 8 to 10 weeks. So I'm excited about Jack. I feel like he has all of the things, all of the pieces to be successful and for this whole thing that we're doing to be successful.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm glad you said a video is coming next. I was actually saying, where's the video? Before I go, I want to talk about Soul Train Awards that's coming up, and I think shows like that, where as far as by us giving our people our flowers, I think is so important. Why do you think the Soul Train Awards is so important, and what it has done for our culture?
I mean, Soul Train, the brand, is important because what we are as a culture, and as visible as we are, and as we hadn't seen, like we weren't seen before Soul Train, not on a level that Don Cornelius created. They would pick and choose who would be seen. With Soul Train opened up this platform for you could see all these artists that you probably wouldn't have never seen. So fast forward to the Soul Train Awards, I'm just thankful that the brand is still here and relevant, and they didn't let it die. I'm so thankful that they have preserved the legacy of Soul Train. But even more importantly, I think what we poured into it, we're making it important. We're making people say, yo, listen, this is our thing, man. Like, this is us. This is our culture on full display. You know what I mean? And we're owning it. And we're all supporting it as a community. And I think that is, incredible. I'm so excited about the Soul Train Awards. And it's crazy you brought that up, because I'm actually, when I get off here, I got a call with somebody actually about the Soul Train Awards. So I'm grateful and thankful for that brand, and I'm so excited to see the younger artists embrace it and support it and show up. You know what I mean? and perform and accept their awards and make it relevant, make people care. These young artists got to make people care. How we care about the Grammys and we care about all these other things that, you know, are great establishments, are great, important pieces to the puzzle when it comes to the culture of music. Soul Train is right up there with them. BT Awards right up there with them. We need to support it all.
Absolutely. Well, it's been an honor this week just to dive into your music a little bit, dive into what you've done for the community, for the culture. So giving you your flowers. Thank you so much for your time today, man. We love you over here. We appreciate everything, and best of luck, man.
Appreciate it, man. Big love over there for BallerAlert, man. I appreciate y'all, man. This was a great convo.